Namaste, this is Duncan Sensei, here in the midnight practice of the Japan forest in my Kyoto Zen Flow. I'm here representing the Om and Base International Yoga Festival. Happy to be a part of it. Do your best. Namaste. Do what you can. Gonna press the thigh, lift the shoulders back. Gonna take the outer wrists into the hips. Lift the chest and press into the deep core muscle. Inhale, rise up. Press up. Come into a little squat. Place your arms inside. Try to bring your elbows close together towards your navel as you work the core. Stretch the back. Press into a prayer. The wrists down between the elbows. The chest bone lifting. Checking your neck. Shifting to one side and pressing the thigh. Lengthening the side body. And taking the archer's pose. Thumbs up. Open heart. And you can try to wrap your arm around the front of your shin. Continue pressing. Twisting the spine. Opening the long side spine and working the shoulder joint. You can try to clasp your hands behind your back. Lift your chest. Look away. And release. Back to Namaste. Choose your style of breath as we go into this yogic arts functional flow. This is classical California Vinyasa with my innovation of Mudra technology. All right, let's draw the bows. And you might want to wrap your forearm around your shin. Hasta Baddha Pada, binding the arm around the leg. And possibly clasping. And releasing. Okay, let's back up a little. Get the feet slightly back from a crow. Get our hands spread out on the mat. If you want to choose the classical flow breath, you can take the Maha Mudra, the tongue to the roof of the mouth, very comfortably, breathing through the nose predominantly. Pressing back, heels towards the floor. In and out, tongue up. Activate the epiglottis throat muscle to engage the purifying Jalandhara Bandha at the Visuddha chakra, Vishuddha. Correcting our expression through speech and purifying our body through breath. All right, I'm going to stand up. You'll work mostly the floor because of the angle and the hour. Whatever time it may be for you, this is a pretty chill zone. All right, great. Take a seat for a moment. Take the seat that is comfortable for you. And inhale. Expand the prana. Lock. Prana kumbhaka. Hold the breath and release, massaging the core. Draw your wings back. And repeat once again. Inhale. Lock. This time exhale, press. Inhale once again. Kumbhaka at the top. Full Shakti. Thumbs on top of the index option. And fingertips touching the hands. Power Mudra press. Okay, we're going to come from Zazen, from Padmasana Lotus. Crossing the ankles and kneeling down into Seiza. Or kneeling Zen meditation with the feet crossed. And the heels wide under the seat bones. But when we rise up, heels squeeze together. Activate the inner leg to the inner core, the Mula Bandha, using the legs. And then releasing down to the Uddiyana Bandha Rajaka Kumbhaka. Exhale, lock out. Inhale, rise up, heels together. Activate your thigh, protecting your back. Once again, drop in, wings folded back, empty out. Now rise up this time. Gonna flex our toes with our feet close together and our seat to our feet. And then when we exhale, set up, we're gonna squeeze, resist the inner thigh and draw the heels and sit bones together. So you'll need to have the base of your large toes slightly separate. The Boshikyu in Japanese, the base, the mounds of the feet. Then when we squeeze the thighs together, the heels of the sit bones should draw fairly close together. Okay, that's the base. Body Bandha, working the upper core. Press power. So again, inhale. Toes flex, lock in. Prana Kumbhaka, lock the Mahabandha, Jalandhara, Uddiyana Mula, locking in, and exhale, press out, thumbs on top. Beautiful, let's try a few more. You can make the letter S a sound as it activating the internal cores, also nice on the exhale. Once again, inhale. Beautiful, that's enough on the toes, I'm sure. Let's cross the toes. Keep pressed up, straight arms on the thigh, above the knee. Relaxing the hips side to side to release the lumbar back. Then exhale, resist with your thumbs, your inner thigh. You're squeezing in as you flex up your spine from your core. Now, full flex. Heels together, draw back with the chest. Pelvis neutral, just drop in a little. Pelvis slightly forward, as possible. And release the back, hip side to side. And then we're gonna repeat. Okay. Thumb base on the sacrum, okay. Inhale. Okay, let's try once again. Exhale. Inhale. Alright, if you want to go a little deeper into an Ustra, you're going to separate the feet and flex the toes. Turn the hands out. Try to reach for the heel. Opposite arm can circle around. Inhale. Exhale. If that's a little strong, just press your sacrum. Inhale. Exhale. Okay. Try my other side. Inhale. counter down into a finger stance, a tiger mudra with the fingers spread out with thumb pads towards one another at the center, into the shoulders. Fingers spread out like a fan, and the grip in to activate the inner arm through the inner rib, and exit across the opposite inner leg through the inner base of large toe at the bushku. Again, your little Japanese there. You're going to hug the elbows in and drop the shoulder blades down, and flex the spine, lengthening the shoulder joints. The heels working towards the floor. And tiger body, right? Which is the flexed spine in a forward plank, which means strong rib, long shoulder, basic human power, and eventually standing into that. And of course, that will wave you in all the way. Inhaling through the extension, exhaling. Squeeze the front ribs to flex the upper spine. Inhale from tiger body. And long tiger tail, so lengthening the lumbar, toes flex, seat bones towards the feet. If that's a little strong as it is on the thumbs, you can take butterfly mudra by just spreading the thumbs forwards, fingers spread out, basing the inner wrist very well. Try that. You can find your dog position, and then drop down and roll into your tiger. You can relax your toes. You can roll up and squeeze your knees off the ground. Yeah. Kneel down, flex the upper spine. Inhale, lengthen the lower spine. Now rising up like a dog pose. Keeping that press, dropping down. Squeezing the inner thighs together to flex the lower spine. And inhale. Lengthen the upper spine. If you want to get into your back, draw your blades together. Activate your lower back and point your toes, and then you can press up into a full Urdhva Mukha Svanna or drop. Tiger body back into a long tail, Adho Mukha Svanna. Then you can walk, pressing through your thumbs, bases, working your heels alternately. Getting your left heel down, if that's your left heel, whichever side. Opening your scorpio tail. With the right leg up, with them planking forward to create alignment and power. Keep the ribs, keep the shoulders, keep the tiger, basic human power concept, tiger, and then open up, spiral from that square shoulder blade base, and cross your legs, drop into a split Vashisthana, like a scissor side body, and sweep your arm forwards. Feel the strength of your lower side, the length of your upper side. Drop down, heels up, X-dog, thighs crossed, right? Pressing back. Then taking your right knee forwards behind your right wrist to what I call swan, Hamsa. Hamsa pose, which also represents the soul. And then we'll take the hands hugging in and pressing out to the side wide. The elbows bend over the wrists. I'm in a finger stance. I'm in Tiger Mudra, thumbs to the middle. You can take Butterfly Mudra, flat palm, thumbs forward. Then again, press out and drop. Now I'm going to bring my elbows forwards over my wrists and my shoulder blades back and together and move side to side and feel this rhomboid, the space between my retracted blades. Drawn back wings, as it were, back toes flexed, springboard, bowstring my spine and drop. Exhale, feel the upper spine. Inhale, rolling up, feel the lower spine. Repeat. Okay, I'm going to shift to the back view. Right leg is still forward, left leg is still back. I'm going to put my hands down. And a little technique is that I'm rolling over my toes to shorten my stance. Right, so that when I kick back, my hips over my knee, right leg is up. And the same side, forearm and shin on the left side are facing, right, this baby Scorpio. And then I'm going to flex my toe with my left lower base side, left elbow hugged in between my elbow and my shoulder, finger spread, so my blade drops back, my shoulder joint lengthens, I activate my upper bandha, body bandha, upper core, and then I'm going to flex my back toe and stand down, straightening that standing left leg. Just pause in the depth of my base shoulder stretch. And from there, I'm just going to kick back and push up. Straighten my arm and leg and plank forward. Inhale back, exhale, forward. And then finally release down. As far as possible. And press up and release the wrists and the back. Dropping to the elbows, releasing the wrists, coming on the backs of the hands, and possible straighten the arms, flex the spine, flex the toes and press back. Shake the neck, drop to the elbows, stand down into dog pose and press and plank forward and pause and some power. You need to kneel down, that's fine, but try to flex the spine. Bend the elbows a little, hug in. Spread the fingers. Press back. Then come back to Seiza, cross the toe. Kneeling, return to the breath. Tongue lightly to the roof of the mouth. Breathing slowly and steadily through the nose. Creating the Zen mind atmosphere of Samavriti Pranayama, the equal in-out breath flow. Shift back down to the ground. Flex the toes and stand down. I'm going to take my long dog and walk it out. Hip side to side. Briefly focusing on the power of dog, which is the press power. So when we do walk the hip side to side, we don't move forward at all. Instead, we go deeply side to side, working the hips and shoulders, thusly releasing the upper and lower spine. Okay. Our feet and hands, skydiver. Press up. Pull back. This time we'll shift to the right heel down. Open the left leg. Squeeze the inner thighs together. Drop to the side, scissor. Circling forward. And down. Opening the left leg. Taking the left shin forward into a hamsa. Pose into a swan. Back toes flexed. Wide finger stance, drop and roll. The elbows over the wrists, countering that Chaturanga Dandasana, all of that tricep and upper back, pressing the wide will work the pec, the biceps and the upper side rib body so well. Opening up that front heart body. You know, like that. And dropping forward from a tiger into a butterfly. So we can really base out that inner strength. Moving through the whole X body. Base of thumb. From the tail to the ashi. The hand to the feet. Right? And we're pressing back. Gonna drop down. Move the pelvis side to side, get into the piriformis and the deep seat core, connecting the sacrum to the thigh, head. I'm going to stand on my back toes, roll forward and shorten my stance onto my shin, which also protects my knee, and pressing back. And straighten my left arm and lift my left leg to a baby scorpion. I'm on my I'm on my right base forearm and shin still, right? I'm hugging the elbow in between the shoulder and the wrist, or more in towards the navel, and pressing back with the straight left arm to work that right shoulder joint. Planking forward onto that forearm, flexing the back toe and standing down. Kicking back, pressing up, planking forward, pressing to power, skydiver up, roll up, pull back and rest. Take your seiza, cross toe kneeling pose, classical Zen meditation, stage 1. Activate the Mahaprana, lifting the tongue, breathing through the nose. Satori mind, Zen mind, no mind. Okay. Going to the bodhicitta heart, consciousness. Now we're gonna go back to dog. Gonna walk it out, left heel down, right leg up. I'm gonna cross down. I'm gonna squat, turn the toes back towards the camera. And I'm gonna drop into an extension, reaching back over my head. Now X-dog down. Open the right leg. Come into the inner left heel, taking the right leg to the left. And extending Hastapadapada, binding the foot with the hand. If I feel like going a little deeper. I'm going to try that on the other side, lifting the left leg from a different angle, right heel down, left leg up, cross, scissor press. I'm going to turn my toes back and squat, roll up from the pelvis to the heart bone, extend forwards, working deep through my shoulder and my back. Releasing, Pressing onto my inner right heel, left leg to the right. I can catch and press from my outer foot as I feel, and releasing, rolling forward, tiger body. Zen mind. Okay. Going to take the right foot forward to the right edge of the mat. The hands on the inside. And I drop down onto the forearms. Working strong body, long arm. And open to a warrior's lunge. And twist. Draw the thumb up like the bow. Press the thigh. Shorten my stance by rolling over my toes onto my shin. Pressing up the left arm, extending the chest and shoulder. Circling back, I will flex my toes again. And extend that length, protecting the knee. And then reaching back, thumbs up toward archer's lunge. And catching the back foot as a deeper option. And breathe. If that's a bit strong, you can also press your sacrum with your palm. Okay. Back to pressing the elbow towards the navel. Flexing the front foot. Bringing the hand through the inner leg to the outer foot, a butterfly mudra, thumbs forward. Right, and then I'm going to pull my hips back toes flex and sit towards my heel. Maybe drop my elbows. Release my neck. Then I'm going to palms down, push up, kick out, stand up, press a little. Open, kicking back, dropping forward, 3, 2, 1, press, press back. Take my left foot forward to the edge of the mat, arms narrowly inside, back toe flexed. Press the thigh. You can roll over the toe and shorten the stance, basing on the shin. And twist, extending the shoulder and chest. Or you can flex the back toe and re-lengthen your stance. Draw the bow. And press the sacrum and twist. Or you can delight in catching the outer foot, pulling towards the pelvis and twisting, releasing deep tension in the back and in the front. So working the psoas core, iliopsoas core, releasing the lumbar and back. I'm going to come down, bring the elbow towards the navel, pull back, lengthening my leg. My toes flex naturally, reaching through the leg, thumbs forward, the edge of the mat. Get your breath. We're at almost 30 minutes. Let's go a little longer, shall we? We'll pull the hips back toes flexed, elbows towards the floor, seat towards the feet. Press up, kick out, stand up, or kneel down. Press to my power. A little extension. And press up, release, kick back. Press forward and back. You should see all the sakura, cherry blossom tree lining the rivers and the roads here in the forest. It's gorgeous. Alright, I'm coming back to Seiza. I'm kneeling down, I'm crossing the feet, hands on the thighs. Pause to feel the effect of the breath. The mudra. And the bandhas. Sit bones together. Navel to spine. Navel towards spine. Let's open to release the hips and make room for the ribs. Release and elongate the lower spine. Okay, now I'm going to take from the dog. I'm going to roll it out. That was a full roll over the toes because I took the long enough downward dog to allow that alignment to create the long upward dog. I can correct the last press of extension through the shoulders. Okay. I'm going to take my right head inside, my right foot forward wide so that I can lift my toes, activate my inner leg, find the base of my inner foot, bush cue, base of toe. Then I can draw the bow again, catch my foot. This time, as I release down, I'll arm lock immediately to butterfly mudra. And then I'll stand up and stand down, sliding into the line of the alignment of the ankles. And as I circle, inhaling, reaching my arm back, I'll try to pull my pelvis in line with my heels and my hips. Inhaling, exhaling, inhale, line everything up, extending the front leg a little, maybe reaching behind the back, touching the thigh or beyond. You can set up a little more in a moment for the arm lock. Let's pull back, back toes flexed, seat towards feet. Come back into the same side body. Hasta Baddha Pada Utthita Parshva Konasana. There's some words just remain in your mind over the years. And then we'll drop the elbow toward the floor. Try to bring the back of the hand, the wrist to the hip. Right? If you need to squat out, you can 90 degrees option. Your back toes flexed, that's also cool. Right? You can lunge and stand side, and eventually you can try to either clasp your upper fingers down towards your palm out, lower fingers, and pull your shoulders back over your heels, or eventually the lower hand can catch the upper wrist and pull you into alignment, opening your heart and extending your legs. Right? Then fingers standing down, lunging back, heel up. Building a little fire. And if you want to try last strong part, you can step your foot towards your forward standing heel and try to come up into a arm lock standing Scorpio. You know, like that. Then extending your upper leg. Right? Getting strong in your inner leg. Setting your intention to purpose, peaceful power. You're in the zone. You're pulling back. Drop the hands. All right. This time we're going to drop the shoulder blade behind the calf a little. We can set up a higher press lower the shoulder, the higher the hip. And then we pull back with that shoulder, and then we press up, higher on the arm and kick out. And, you know, do what you do. But, you know, you're just going to kick off to a baby Scorpio. I'm going to push up. Reach left hand back to right foot. Catch and kick and press. Deep spine massage. Front body stretch and drop. And roll. And pull back and rest that shoulder and that back and all that deep work to the hips. Let's clear the spine and roll that out. Take the left foot forward, left edge of the mat, activate the inner leg, set up my press, draw the bow, catch the, lengthen the pose, option, catch the toe of the foot, twist, release, lock in, arm lock, butterfly press. Reestablish a long pose. Pull back. Back toes flexed, elbows towards the floor. Take a breath and then press back up. Stand on that side line. Circle back, pulling the hips between the heels. In breath. Extend. Inhale, bend. Exhale, extend. Okay. We'll drop back down, back heel up, back into the lunge. Elbows towards the floor, pulling the hips back. And we'll come up. Try to bring the back of the left hand to the left hip. And turn your foot in 90 degrees and squat. Your back toes flex, sitting the same, right sit bone on the heel. And reach up. Try to clasp towards the open palm fingers and pull your shoulder back. Or lower hand can hold the upper wrist with the shoulder. First turn in. Get the wrist, then trying to pull that shoulder back. Or take the pose, you know, that your body wants to do. Okay. Beautiful. Lunging, extending, stretching, releasing, dropping back to the lunge. If you want to try a little stronger, let's set up a little bit first. Pull back again. Feel all the deep shoulder work through the back, the lumbar, down through the back of the leg. And you can take finger stance, thumbs to the middle, fingers spreading, fingers gripping. And then step forward towards your front inner heel. Building a little fire. Lifting your toes in every pose. The master path. Treading lightly without a trace. With a deep connection. We rise up to try to go a little deeper. Cool. Finding the inner stance, strong. The inner wrist, the inner ankle, the inner knee, the inner elbow, the inner hip, the inner shoulder, the inner ribs, the inner pelvis. The pelvic floor activates the abdominal core. Mula Bandha makes Uddiyana Bandha. And the palms come down and we pull back briefly. Back toes flexed. Stabilize, activate. Gonna do a little more setup to get the shoulders low and the hips high. We're gonna try to get that shoulder blade behind the calf on whichever side you're on. I'm on my second left side. We'll drop in and try to keep that as we pull back. I'm resting on my forearm, keeping my heels off the ground, but just the idea is the shoulders deep, down through the deep spine of the same side, to the deep seat. Then when we press up, we've got the advantage of height over gravity, which allows us to shift our weight forwards, whether standing or lifting, elevating, and then we take the leg back on the forearm and the shin. I'm going to go ahead and stand down into that shoulder, stretch. If I wanted to take it a step further, I could plank forward on the forearm. I'm getting that very strong upper body, and then I can lengthen it out, dropping into the squat off the forearm. Similar action as before. So deep shoulder, so deep spine, active ribs. I'm going to press that out back to dog. Press to the straight arm, hands straighten up and plank. Forward, press out. Getting somewhere. Let's release the back. I'm seizing back. I'm crossing my toes so that my seat can reach my feet. A lot more going on. You can follow me, I can follow you, we can practice together. As I provide successive classes, then I can talk about all the Mudra technology that you might find very interesting, that roots back to ancient shiatsu, pressure points in the feet, activating the mind, repleting the adrenals, this particular pressure point, and so on. Finding the side that needs balancing and really getting the energetic flow together. All right. Gonna come into a squat. Feet wide as you please, protecting the knees. Lift the toes in every pose. Press the heart high, the wrist low. Shake your neck. Shake your body. Press. Draw. Catch. I'm putting my back of my hand back to my side pelvis to my hip. I'm locking my elbow inside, just getting an internal compression on that shoulder joint to massage the burst of the inner capsule of the joint, get it fresh, hug it in, release that energy, or share that power. All right, take the other side. Alright, let's try that crazy maneuver on this last part, back to the first side, which means I'm going to take my left leg back. I missed an action earlier. The opposite hand catches the foot, and kick it out as you plank forward. The long strong and drop it. And pardon me again, I'm going to finish the first side, last part, to lift the right leg. On the forearm, I'll press into that shoulder. Now I'm into my left shoulder, whatever side you feel. And when I drop to the scissor side body, I'm going to turn out, my toes away to the squat, but I'm on my forearm still. So I get that deep shoulder, that deep inner shoulder blade access through the inner spine. And I'll press it out. Power it forward. You know. Then I'll just press out. And I'll move forward and back. Checking my shoulders while protecting my wrist. Then I'm going to cross and pull back. Releasing the back. Pelvis side to side. If it's more comfortable, you can just keep your feet together and toes relaxed. Bring your hands to the side and shifting your sit bone towards the floor. Releasing your back. From your hips. The hips being the key that unlocks the gate of the sacrum, releasing energy to the corridor of the spine and opening the space of the lower back. Feet crossed at the toes, in step pressing to the high inner arch as if kicking the heel and sitting into that while the heels separate under the sit bones. I continue to feel that pressure point, perhaps even lifting the knee of the pinned foot to stretch the ankle, lengthening through the ankle and the shins. And then that massage is intense, might cramp my inner arch muscle, so then after every good massage we need a decent stretch. So then we stretch that inner arch, the activation of the pelvic floor and the abdominal core and the lumbar curvature is all coming from the inner feet, the inner bridge, right? And then we cross to the opposite foot as if kicking the heel, pressing into the inner arch of the foot and letting the heels naturally separate as we sit the sit bones into the heels. And perhaps readjusting the intensity of the pressure point, the depth of the pressure point is in the high inner arch of the foot, which is the adrenal gland repletion, energy reserves in the spine, all systems flow. And you can even lift the knee of the pinned foot, stretch that ankle and shin, whoosh. Then again, flexing the toes, stretching that affected pressure point, that subal in the inner arch at the high medial meniscus. From that inner knee down through the inner shin. All right. And releasing down, you pressing into that medial curve in the inner foot, the inner bridge. Okay. You have a little more time. So I'm going to drop into a seated position. As a Vinyasa, as a flow person, we would cross our ankles and bring our hands back so that we can lift our knees, have our shoulders over our wrists, flex our feet, and then try to press out to a seat. And the seat requires the inner thigh to drop in and back through the sit bone while pressing to the boshku, the inner base of the large toe, so the inner thigh is pulling in through the back sit bone. This is Danda, basic staff, first seated pose and flow in modern classical practices. The fingers are spread, finger stance mudra, the thumbs pressing the upper thigh at the hip, the two middle fingers pressing into the floor, extending forward through the lower spine. Bend as necessary, protect your back. It's the outer hip, and again with my thumb, it's the inner ankle. I'm just hooking right across the top of the inner ankle, pulling back on the top of the thigh, activating the thigh, finding the elongation of the counter spiral classics, energetic alignment. Pardon? Well, it's well into the witching hour now. Here in the deep woods where social distancing has the benefit of fresh air and many wonderful forest creatures. Now I'm going to take my arm inside the leg, catch my outer foot and extend as far as I can. Checking my lower back. I might need to put my foot down on my opposite base leg and limit my descent, my Shaktipat, the descent of grace, the showering of grace. We don't fall from grace. Grace falls upon us. This is the true descent. Not from, but of grace. Of course, energy is everywhere. Pelvis side to side, sit bones slightly back. Very long. Then I'm still holding my outer foot from my inner leg. I'm going to cross, I'm going to bend again the standing leg. And I'm going to cross the foot over the thigh. But I mean the outer blade of the foot over the thigh bone, not the ankle. And the ankle is, flexed to activate the shin muscles to protect the anterior cruciate ligament, the outer knee joint tissue. And then you reach through the leg, just as though you were going to lock out and twist, But in this instance, we're going to reach through the leg and reach around and catch the shin and pull the flexed ankle, the chest towards the thigh. Reestablish our piriformis, our Li Zhuangji, our Yogic in Chinese and Japanese, the piriformis, deep seat core. Beautiful. Then I'm going to release, go back to holding the outer foot. I'm going to finish with interlacing the fingers normally. And then I'm going to bend both knees to protect my outer knee of my active engaged leg, and then extend down, as far as comfortably, keeping the ankle over the knee and the knee towards the floor. My crossed arm is at a 90-degree, somewhat of a square. I can pull my head through, get my shoulder blade and neck beautifully. Of course, the back of my leg, my outer leg, and then I can swing up, like that. I think that's all we have time for, so I'm going to let that go. And do the other side. So I'm going to come in, right, lock out. I'm going to catch the outer foot, press through the inner foot to my natural limit. I might want to squat, and go into a spring. My thumb is hooking my hip as usual for me. And I just get, as far as I can. I'm not gonna be concerned if I straighten my leg or not. You're in that inner shoulder blade, upper back rib cage. It's beautiful. Oh. The therapy involved, the joint, it's the chest, it's all really getting an awesome stretch with resistance. And we cross the foot over the thigh, we squat again. We're already there, really. We lace the shin, we pull forward with the flexed ankle, protecting the outer knee. Of course, you could go deeper. There's so many ways to go. There's so many ways. I mean, to go, you know. But for now, we're on the final left side. You just finished the deep work. And you know, it's all the base. All the base of the poses are for arm balancing, or when we base them on the floor, take the power out of the pose. It becomes deep therapy to release the blocks and balance the length-strength ratio body system to achieve these aerial practices with more levity, with more grace. All right. And I'm just going to release that down. In my diamond shape together. And reach through the leg again, doing the arm lock practice today through the leg, Hasta Baddha Pada flow. We're going to catch the outer feet, tiger bodies in mind. Flex spine, strong ribs, long shoulders, spread back, wings. Right? And tongue with the Maha Mudra, creating the Mahaprana. Tongue slightly lifted, breathing through the nose. Beautiful, release. Down. I'm going to do a quick back bend, feet together, hands turn out and back. Something you probably already do. Just press as far as you can. Your toes flex, feet close together. Fingers stance, elbows bent, you know, whatever works for you. Pelvis slightly lifted, forward, sitting back on the heels, squeezing in, the bandha, knees towards the floor, even knees towards one another, and ultimately navel towards spine. Okay, dropping back. Feet together, toes flexed. Pashupati. The time-traveling spaceman and woman. The Shiva Shakti prototypes coming on the chariots of fire. We know our origins, or how we evolved to the higher earth plane, as it were. Releasing, getting comfortable. Omen Base worldwide online yoga festival in this time of practicing and playing in place, unified wherever we find ourselves, enveloped in grace, in the trust of our self-proclaimed destiny from so long ago. Until now. And beyond. Gate, paragate. All the way. This is Duncan Sensei. If you're connected to the world through social media, my main format is my YouTube channel and my Instagram account, which will direct you to my Zoom Flow platform if you want to continue these practices in depth on the daily.